So, judging by the first episode, season 2 of Severance is off to a great start. It's creepy and intelligent, and never one to give away more than it needs to. I mean, this show is definitely something that scratches the itch for very peculiar intellectual fiction. It's reviving a genre in a lot of ways. That sort of old school Orwellian science fiction that a lot of people enjoyed for a long time there. It's one of those shows that only ever wants to show and not tell. It's cluing us into the motivations of its characters based on action and subtext more so than anything. Spoilers ahead, my friends, for episode 1 of this season and the entirety of the last season, but I'm sure you guessed that already. Um, the last season ended with Mark S. finding out about his Audi's wife being alive, being in Lumon working as Miss Casey, and also that Cabell has somehow infiltrated his life within and without the company. Uh, and that was the least shocking revelation of that season finale, because we found out that freaking Helly is actually Helena Egan, a member of the family that sort of controls Lumen with an iron fist. But oh, did she blow the lid on everything that's been happening to them with her newfound uh, power and authority? Um, and that's how the season ended. Season 2 starts with Mark S. He wakes up in that cursed elevator and starts running. He's running round and round a floor he seems to have a hard time navigating. My impression is almost that maybe Lumen has changed the layout somehow, or maybe this is actually a different floor or a different building. And because it looks so similar to the other, we haven't really picked up on it just yet. Maybe it's not a perfect theory, but I think it might have some merit because it's very interesting how he got so confused at first. Um, and his coworkers have all been replaced, right? The door to the wellness room is gone as well, and Mr. Milchek is in charge, not Harmony Cobell. Mark is freaking floored. He is losing it. He finds out that allegedly, like 5 months have passed, and the macro data refinement team has become like veritable heroes in the outside world, and that they're these figureheads for severance reform. But after 5 months, and allegedly Lumen has like got its act back together, and they're like, instituting all these new changes to make work better. Helly, Dylan, and Irving have still not returned. Only Mark's Audi agreed to go back to work, which honestly, I think that could be Milchek lying. He's a very devious character, and a very good villain, might I add. It's just very well played. But Mark, see, he has no perception of time as an any. I mean, at least as time correlates to his perception of the outside world, right? My personal theory is that this could be days after the season finale, or maybe a week after the season finale, and that they're actually being held prisoner at Lumen, maybe. Although I really have no information to back this up, other than Milchek being very unwilling to give up any information in return, right? Um, but Mark's efforts do get Helly, Dylan, and Irving returned, right? Which sort of adds to my belief that there's something really weird going on in the like outside unsevered world. They're supposed to be these like heroes, but there's something very unnatural going on, right? Milchick is plotting something. He's already working to manipulate Dylan and planting these seeds of doubt in amongst them. I think he knows a lot more than he's letting on, of course. Um, and he's still, I think, working his way up the food chain, right? Having Cobell's job is probably not his end game. Um, I don't know what that could possibly be, but it's something to keep an eye out for. Um, and I think it's also very interesting that when the team finally does get a chance to talk and share everything they've learned, Helly does not tell them about her being an Egan. She keeps that information to herself, which means either, and I think this might be, admittedly, this is more likely that she's just embarrassed or ashamed to be an Egan, and that she's maybe even afraid that the others would turn on her, not trust her. But another option is Lumon found a way to reverse the severance procedure, which we know is possible, and which Harmony Cobell actually did study in her time as being in charge of the severed floor. That, of course, Lumon's official claim is that it's irreversible, but they could be, again, lying through their teeth. But Helly could very well be actually Helena, undercover, hoping to sabotage the the team's efforts every step of the way. I mean, and that's just it. You can't really trust anyone or anything, right? That Lumon has access to such dangerous technology and are obviously willing to do whatever is necessary to keep their hold on the company. So anything's on the table, right? The new co-workers Mark kind of screwed over. They could very well have been Lumon agents, right? Trying to gain Mark's trust and failing. Or this could everything could be going according to Lumon's plan. The little girl who now works for Milchick could be anything from a clone to a robot to the final form of one of the goats. That is mostly a joke. I feels like I should let you know that. But we just don't know. And I am particularly concerned about Miss Cobell. Patricia Arquette's character, Harmony Cobell, was perhaps my favorite character in the first season. We know she's still involved in the show, but in what role we can't say because we haven't seen her yet. She's out there, and I imagine still a diehard follower of Lumon, but maybe not. She could have had some sort of change of heart since Lumon kind of abandoned her, throwing her under the bus in order to save its own hide. It would be an interesting twist if she really does turn on them. I guess only time will tell. I think it could be very fascinating if Harmony has this change of heart. If she maybe even works somehow to get the MDR crew freed from Lumon's control. It could be a very great and interesting redemption of the character, in my personal opinion. I guess we'll see, won't we? Until then, like and subscribe to my channel. It really helps a lot. And let me know if you want to hear me talk a little bit more about Severance or about something else. I talk about a lot of variously nerdy things. So, yeah. Bye.